Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and no restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In the place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on 8th Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court, found the DC school. I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said, God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and that's not really fair. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Isupk until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crowd, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty and make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up in the judge put man on the shelf. Heavy cry cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lying, pop smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted, go ahead, was to smash my opponents. Go ahead, stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then gotta hope you accept my atonement. Go ahead, cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a danger. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster.
This for my people, this for my people, yeah, this for my people, this for my people, this for my people, yeah, this for my people. Fuck the white man, 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 fuck the white man. Painted by the Spanish, did a whole lot of damage. Shit was outlandish, banks got branded. Split up all the families, then shipped across the Atlantic. So many died from the famine. Threw the dead bodies overboard, sharks ate them like salmon. I know you can't stand it. I spit the truth, goddammit. Big business got managed, dig it double back. Came to pick up all the blacks. We'll speed up our back, we never got to relax. Pretend to set us free, but then you double back without a crack. The type of game that you play, hey, to keep it real, I ain't going for it. Beat a couple court cases, had a warrant for it. Told my mama if I ever did time, I'ma raise up the whole yard. Had my lawyer like.
The other nations mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing. So I keep my faith in God. They really mean nothing. That's why I'm really going hard. They really mean nothing. So they lie. They say that they the Jew, but they not. They really heard you looking for truth. Well, here it is. I'ma give it to you raw. So go and open your ears. I'm breaking down the lies they told so many years. We building up our people and breaking down all their fears. Trill. So I'm putting in work, homie, perfecting the recipe. I look in the mirror, nigga, and I see a better me. I see a priest. I see a man, I see a real soldier that willing to stand. The Bible was given to us, we keeping it closed. And the truth that you looking is right up under your nose. So I'ma give it to you straight like a strong shot of liquor. Think that this your rest, this is why you feeling sick. Hey, above all the other nations, that's what I'm living for. I talk less of Johnny Walker, that's what I'm grinning for. I'm constantly motivated, my life has been elevated, so there is no hesitation. When I say the other nations mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing. So I keep my faith in God. They really mean nothing. That's why I'm really going hard. They really mean nothing. So they lie. They say that they the Jew, but they lie. They really mean nothing.
Really don't mean a thing. The other nation really don't mean a thing. They be like it's the spirit.
Hey, a nation of priests, and we got it by righteousness. But there is no peace when we loving our enemies. The shit that you smoking got you lost in a dream. So you tasting that green paper, then constantly scheme. The devil got a plan to have us all by the balls. But when you know they full of shit, you gotta shake them bitches off. The prison system a trap, so don't you jump out the porch. Generations of kings and UPK is the torch. I see your pain when it get hard. And on your soul's a lot of scars, but I'm still your brother. I see your pain when it get hard, and on your soul a lot of scars. The other nations mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing, 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 nothing. They really mean nothing. So I keep my faith in God. They really mean nothing. That's why I'm really going hard. They really mean nothing. So they lie. They say that they the Jew, but they not. They really mean nothing.
Check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Check. Mic check.
They be like I'm the spirit. Yes, sir.
Ready, brother? Take this here tonight. And then all right, you got the mic. I don't worry about it. I just come on.
Sar, Wakadam, Sar, Apaya Akadam. So we turn face east. We're going to do the prayers. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Ayah, Kash, Yahweh, Lakoka, Aba'ah, Zayaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Lawad, Ayah, Shemayah, Thundernow, Kar, Kal, the Wall, Salat now, Abati now, Salat now, Abati now, Ala'ah, Abiyah now, Abasai one, Abal, Abashai now, Ayan, Ra, Kaya, Aka, Malakun, Alam, Wakapara, Alamya, Aman.
In English. Our Father,
Our
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. Give us our debts, we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh. Bashim Yahushua. Kashah. Thundernow. Ka. Malawa. Ka. Tahar. Amatazari. Ka. Hakuya. Hamakia. Arakawa. Atama'ala. Agarashan. Bashim Yahushua.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Pray for the blessing. Barakatah Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Wa Maka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Tazbayah. Alawapyah. Asaranya. Akwasayumya. Akoyoyo. Wa Yahweh. Bashim Yahushua.
Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahweh. The general. The captain. The officers. The troops. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Psalm 121. Aisha,
Ayanya,
Maharia,
Mahayan,
Yaba'ah, Azariah,
Ma'ayin,
Yahweh, Asha, Shamayam, Baratazah, Ayatan, Nabawat, Nagalka, Al-Yanawam, Shabarka, Anala'ah, Ala'ah, Yashan, Shalamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shabarka, Zalka, Ayah, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Ashamash, Ayakah, Wayarak, Alayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Akarad, Yashamar, Atapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Aba'aka, Ma'atah, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'al shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forward, and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Elakah, Al-Makarash, Al-Tashaplat, Al-Kahayana, Al-Wabika, Yahweh Yawan,
Yanawan,
Yara'ash,
Yara'ash,
Anuka,
Anuka,
Yara'aimor,
Yara'aimor,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Tazawa,
Atazawa,
Atazapamuka,
Atazapamuka,
Amara,
Amara,
Akawa,
Yakara,
Akakida,
Akaki,
Bagayawa,
Gara,
Wala'a Yazakar,
Wala'a Yazakar,
Sham Yaza'ala,
Shem Yasha,
Iwadah,
Awadah,
Ayat,
Ayat,
Iwataza,
Iwataza,
Abad,
Abad,
Akadwa,
Akadwa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Arayat,
Yariyat,
Yakarathwa,
Karahwa,
Alaash,
Alaash,
Alawam,
Yanawan,
Wayashimai,
Wayashimai,
Alahayam,
Alayam,
Ala'aba,
Wabao,
Wahagaria,
Wahagaria,
Law,
Law,
Wa'amawa,
Yawamampu,
Wa'amalak,
Wamwak,
Alashak,
Yayishak,
Amishabia,
Yabishak,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Yamashakur,
Nalawa,
Talawa,
Imam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Tawa,
Zarawa,
Zarawa,
Wayalawat,
Vayalawa,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadiyat,
Amadi,
Kasasara,
Kalasara,
Hayabiyat,
Hayabi,
Manakor,
Kanakor,
Washword,
Akashu,
Nishadma,
Ashma,
Nishadwa,
Nishadwa,
Nandara,
Nandara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Kaman,
Amam,
Adama,
Adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shavatham,
Nadayama,
Naayama,
Ayama,
Naama,
Wazaka,
Yakaka,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakazatol,
Wakazador,
Kal Nayasamwa,
Nayasamwa,
Ashar,
Ashur,
Amwa,
Amwa,
Nayarashak,
Nairashad,
Alawa,
Alawa,
Ak, Nayawa,
Nayawa,
Alahaya,
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 Lahaya,
Shayathamwa,
Yayatham,
Kabala,
Kabala,
Kwash,
Makosh,
Payamaka,
Raka,
Kaash,
Kaash,
Abya Ira,
Tabi Ira,
Al-Balaba,
Al-Dalaba,
Alahat,
Alahat,
Zarya,
Nagor,
Kathar Dama,
Ardavadama,
Iraka,
Yasar,
Wabasawa Wapatka,
Wamsahat, Shak,
Tabahalam,
Lahala,
Malaha,
Walaha,
Panyaham,
Payaham,
Walawan,
Yanawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Manquashwa,
Ka,
Ka,
Yahawa,
Yahaw,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabalawa,
Wabalawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Darapar,
Wayadawa,
Wadawa,
Wayadayawa,
Daradawa,
Hayathan,
Kayatan,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahawa,
Yahaw,
Wabatka,
Abad,
Ayawan,
Yanawan,
Al-Karatazak.
Akarataza.
Keep not thou silent,
Keep not thou silent.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still,
Be not still.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
for lo,
For lo,
thine enemies,
our enemies,
make a tumult,
make tumult,
and they that hate thee,
they hate thee,
have lifted up the head,
they lifted up the head,
they have taken crafty counsel,
they have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against,
thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off,
and let us cut them off,
be the nation,
be the nation.
in the name of Yahshua,
In the name of Yahshua,
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together,
They have consulted together,
with one consent,
one consent.
they are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
of the Ishmaelites,
and the Israelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Jabal,
Baal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
and Philistine,
Philistine,
the inhabitants of Tyre,
the inhabitants of Tyre.
the sword also,
Also,
joined with them.
join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Say Lot,
Do unto them,
do unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
and unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
and to Sarah,
as to Jabin,
and to Jabin,
the book of Psalm,
and the book of Psalm,
which perished at Endor,
perish in Endor,
and became as dung for the
and
earth.
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like the red,
Like Zahed.
like Zahed.
Yea.
Yea,
All their princes as Zabah.
I am Christian as a bar,
And as Amunah.
and as Zamuna,
Who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of your house,
the houses of your house,
in possession.
into possession.
Oh my power.
Oh, my power,
Make them like a wind.
make them like a wind,
As the stubble before the wind.
stumble before the wind,
As the fire burneth the
as
wood.
the fire burns the wood,
The flame set the mountains on
and
fire.
the flame set the mountains on
So
fire.
persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
And make them afraid with thy storm.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded,
In trouble forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to shame,
And perish.
and perish,
And men may know.
that men may know
Thou.
that thou,
Whose name alone.
whose name alone
Is Yahweh.
is Yahweh,
Art the most high.
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry.
We left off last week in Genesis chapter 18. We're going to pick up there. This is right before Abraham went into, was it before he was Sodom and Gomorrah? We get into Sodom and Gomorrah, I believe. So, of course, you know, in our tradition, we start off in the Hebrew, and then we translate it in English. So we're going to read it in the Hebrew first. You can follow along at home. You got the Blue Letter Bible, or you got the Hebrew English Tanakh. It's written in Syrian. You can follow home if you want. And then we'll read it in English. So we'll get this thing started here. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 18, and verse 23. Just in case I need that too. 18:23. Wayagash, Abraham, Wayamar, Adam, slacking. That's a guy. Tazadayak, Ain, Washai, Awalaya, Yash, Kamashiyam, Tazadayakim, Batawad, Ayara, slacking. Up. That's a pa. Wala that's your Lama Kawam. Tazadayakim, Ashar, Bakuraba, Kalala, Lada, Maishath, Kadabar, Azaa, Laamayath, Tazadayak, Ain, Rasha'ai, Wahayaha, Ka Tazadayak, Krawashai, Kalala'a, Lana, Ashapat, Kal, Rataza, La'a, Ya'asha, Mashapat, Wa'amar, Yahweh, Am, Taza'a, Basadam, Kamashim, Tazadayakim, Bathwan, Ayar, Wanaasha, Lakala, Amakawam, Ba'abaram, Waya'an, Abraham, Ba'amor, Ana'a, Na'a, Awala'afia, Ladabar, Al, Adonaiah, Wanakaya, All right, par. Or wild par. We down. We're on 30. Okay. Awalaya. Yakasa Ra'an. Kamachium. Tazadakium. Kamasha. Ashikayath. Bakamasha. Ath. Cow. IR. Wyamar. La'a. Ashkayath. Amataza'a. Sham. Arbaya'am. Wakashim. Wakamasha. Wayasa. Awada. Ladabor. Alayan. Wa'amar. Awalaya. Yamatazawan. Sham. Arba Ayam. Wa'amar. La'a. Ayasha. Ba'aba Wa'a. Arbayam. Verse 30. Wa'amar. Al. Na'a. Yakar. La'adanaya. Wa'adaba'ar. Wa'yala'a. Yamatazawa. Sham. Wala Shayam. Wa'amar. La'a. Aisha'a. Amataza'a. Sham. Wala Shathium. In the English, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 23. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Verse 24. Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
Right. So what's heavy about this is we know prior to that the Most High was heading to Sodom with those angels, with those men, to see if the men of Sodom or the people of Sodom have done all together according to the cry, as you see in verse 21 of chapter 18. And so you got to understand that what you do individually affects us all collectively. Okay. There's a term called collective punishment, okay? And that I grew up with that. So one of my brothers cut up, we all got punished for what he did because we're all responsible for one another. Okay, so brotherhood is definitely it's imperative.
Right.
This is our culture, this is our custom. And our custom is to be obedient according to the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Not what you see on BET, not what you see on Stars, not what you see being promoted in the earth with regard to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Those are all caricatures of us at our lowest point, okay? So Abraham is asking the Lord, is he going to destroy the righteous with the wicked? Which would that make the Most High power unjust to do that?
Right.
And as the brother continues to read, you'll see what the Most High says. Salakia.
Verse 25. That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Verse 26. And the Most High said, if I find Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes.
So the Most High Power is saying that if he found 50 righteous men, what does it mean to be righteous? I asked Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child, what does it mean to be righteous? Because what the church teaches is that's not righteousness. Okay. We understand that to be righteous, it has everything to do with keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
And the Christian church teaches against that. So that is the way of the oppressor, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is what was being practiced in Sodom.
Right.
Because that's what Christianity is now into, not just white supremacy, but homosexuality.
Right.
That is bred in the churches. It's bred in the Roman Catholic Church. It's bred in the Christian church, man. It's bred in any other custom and culture outside of the truth. Okay, so it's very, very important that we remain separate, and it's good. Rebuke is good, man. It's very, very important that we love one another. What I mean by that is, you see your brother erring or walking in a way he shouldn't walk. You got to correct that brother. That's your obligation to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we're all responsible for one another, as it would be in a family. We are one nation. Salakia.
12. That's right. Verse 27. And Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Most High, which am but dust and ashes. 28. Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it.
So there's strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Most High Power it's not a democracy with him. Okay. So when it comes down to majority rule, he is the ruling power. He is the authority. He sets the rules in effect. And he said 45. Abram asked about 50. He said 50. I'll accept even 45. But you're going to see what's going to happen according to what's denoted here in the scripts. Continue, brother.
Verse 29. And he spake unto him yet again and said, peradventure, there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake.
It ain't enough. You got to get them numbers up. It's not enough. That's what Officer Zion say. Get them algorithms up. You know what I'm saying? Because it matters. It definitely matters. That's why it's so imperative for us not to take on the customs of America. It's so important for us as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Since we're a nation that's not desired, you might as well embrace that and run to what the earth is not desiring, which is God's law, statutes, commandments. Because I'll tell you right now, the way that we're conducting ourselves on the earth, that's not going to be allowed in heaven. That's not. You might as well just get yourself together right now and stop waiting. I mean, what the hell what are we waiting for? What are we holding on to in this earth? This is the way. Okay. Continue, brother.
Verse 30. And he said unto him, not let the Most High be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure, there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. All right.
Oh, Salakia, I stand corrected. He'll do it for 40. He'll do it for 30. For righteousness' sake.
Right, and that just goes to show you how wicked Sodom and Gomorrah was, because you're going to dwindle that number down all the way to 1, because he already sent the angels down there to check it out. Then already did that, so he already knows how wicked this city is.
Right.
And he's pretty much how Black people talk. Man, if I find this, I'll do it. But he ain't gonna find nobody. He already got the word that it was a disgusting, place that ought to be destroyed. But this is the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 31 in Hebrew. Why Amar Ana'ah Awal Afia Ladabar Al Adonaiah Awalaya Yamatazawa on Sham Asherayam Waya Amar La'ah Ashakayath but Ibawar. I lost my place. Hold on. I'm at 31, right?
Right. 31.
Okay, I see. You're right, man. Okay, I see where I'm at. Slakia. Sharayam. 32. Wayamar. Al. Na'a. Yakar. La'adanaya. Wa'adabara. An. Apa'ain. Awalaya. Ya Matazaya Wa'an. Sham. Ashara. Wa'amor. La'a. Ayashakath. Ba'abara. Sharaya. Wayalad. Yahweh. Kashar. Kala'a. Ladabor. Al. Abaram. Abaram. Shabah. Lamakoma'ah. 19 and 1. Wayabara'ah. Shanaya. Slakin. Amalakium. Sadama. Ba'arabah. Walawat. Yashab. Basha'ara. Saddam. Wayara. Lawat. Wayaquam. Laquarathium. Wayashakar. Apayam. Arataza. Wa'amor. Ana'a. Na'a. Adanaya. Sarawa. Na'a. Al. Bayath. Abarakam. Wayalanawa. Rawa Katazaya. Slake. Tazawa. Ragal Yakam. Wa'ashakathayam. Wa'alak them. Ladarakam. Wa'amarwan. La'a. Kaya. Barakawab. Nalayan. Wayapa Tazara. Kam. Ma'ad. Waya Sara'a. Alahaya. It's like Alayawa. Wayabara. Al. Bayathun. Waya Aish. La'am. Mashata'a. Wa Matazawath. Apa'a. Waya Ka'al. Taram. Yashak Bawa. Wa Anashia. Arada. Anashaya. Saddam. Nasabawa. Al. Abayath, Manayar, Wa'ad, Zakawa, Kal, A'ain, Makwataza'ah. All right. The English, go back. 31. The book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 31. Let's see. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not the Most High be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake.
Right. So Abram is presenting all these hypothetical scenarios to the Most High Power, and he's inquiring for understanding. So that lets me know that there's value in being or attaining righteousness. There's value in being righteous. Okay, the world devalues all that is honorable. So the world will teach you to do things that are contrary to what thus saith the Lord. And when we do that, we separate ourselves from the Most High Power's protection.
Right.
We separate ourselves from our culture, from our true identity, from our heritage, from our birthright. Okay, we're supposed to be in rulership, not the people that run the earth. The so-called oppressor. We look to him like his way is the end all be it.
Right.
But the Most High Power, his laws, statutes, and commandments is the end all be it. So we got to understand that, we got to hold our culture and our identity in high esteem, and take pride in doing the right thing. Spike Lee was on to something when he was like, do the right thing.
Right.
He was literally on to something when he said that, when he made that movie, man. But not to say that what Spike was doing in the movie was the right thing.
Right.
But in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, the priests and prophets in this school, we're teaching our people to do the right thing.
That's right.
Okay, thus saith the Lord, man.
Right.
So,
Like, even in reading scripture, you see that in this scripture, we see that this brother right here, he was not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like he was concerned with his brothers. You understand? He was nothing like your Christian pastor.
That's right.
If your Christian pastor could get away with not, while you suffering and he living in the good life, and the Lord said, I got you, trust and believe, he'll forget all about you.
Right. That's right.
This brother was making a conscious effort to say, Salaki, Lord,
Right.
if I can find 50, 40, 30 down here to be that are righteous, Lord, don't destroy them. You understand?
Right.
And that shows the ultimate level of sacrifice, because he wasn't concerned about his life, because easily he could have went on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was thinking about his brothers, right, and his sisters, man.
He was thinking about Lot.
Right.
Oh no, come on now, not my you know what I'm saying? Salaki. So where we at?
We in the book of Genesis. We're in verse 33 now. All right. Yeah, we did. Yep. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 33. And the Most High went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. Verse 1. We'll read down to 4. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. Verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him. And he entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
Good night. Good night. That makes me wonder, like, what Lot saw in these two angels. You know, what did he see? He saw the Holy Spirit on them. He saw that they didn't look like any of the other people in Sodom. You know, there must have been something about the countenance on these angels. You know, did they present themselves as angels? You know, that's the way you should look at these scriptures, man. You know, don't lean into your own understanding. Get clarification, get understanding from the priests and prophets in this school, man. You know, you can't just take things for face value like what your Christian pastor is giving you every Sunday,
right,
or every Saturday. He's not going into these scriptures, busting them down the way that we do in here,
right?
You know, so that you can gain a true understanding. Okay, so these angels were moving. They were moving different, and it's crazy because, you know, just like how Jacob wrestled with the angel, you know, Lot, he would have been wrestling with them angels to get them to come into the crib because he knew how wicked and evil the people of that city were.
Right.
Okay. So Salakia.
No, you too up. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 5. Wa yakwara al lawat wa amara lawa aya anashim ashar ba'awa alayad alayala'a awatazawayam alanaya. It's like it. Alayanawa wanada eyed a thumb wayataza'a alaham lawat apathaka'a wa adalath sagar akarawa wa amar al na'a akaya the ra'awa na'a laya shataya banawath ashar la'a yadawa ayash awatazaya na'a athwan athawan alayakam wa aishawa la'ayan katawab ba'ayana yakam rakwa la'anashayam Allah al the Aishawa the bar kaya al kaya ba'awa batazal Karathia. Reading down to 11. Okay. Wa amarwa gosh ala wa amarwa akad ba'a laga wa'ar waya shapat pashapawat aitha'a nara'ai lada ma'ama waya patazarwa ba'ayash Balawat, Ma'ad, Wayagashwa, Lashabar, Kadalath. Verse 10. Going to 11. Wayashalaka, Anashayam, Ath, Yadam, Wayabayawa, Ath, Lawat, Alayaham, Abayatha, Wa'ath, Adalath, Sagaram, Sagarawawa, Wa'ath, Anashayam, Ashar, Pathka, Abayath, Akawa, Basanawa Yaram, Makwatawan, Wa'id, got a wall, Wailawa'a, Lama Taza'a, Apothka. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. Verse 6. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not do so wickedly.
So the context of know or knowing someone, in this verse, it goes beyond just getting acquainted with someone. It goes beyond just, introducing yourself and, just learning about a person, their history, what they do for a living, what they like. It went beyond that. Lot said, don't do so wickedly. That type of know was different. That knowing is to have sexual intercourse, according to Merriam-Webster's definition of know. And that's a wicked and evil, vile, disgusting thing. And Lot knew that. He abided in that city of wickedness, and it just, I always wondered like how Lot was moving in that city. Obviously he was righteous. And I know it was very, very difficult for him to just navigate through each day, man. Each day presented a different set of challenges.
Right.
And today he was met with the challenge of defending his brothers, man, these angels. Go ahead, brother.
Sweet. And verse 7, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not do so wickedly. Verse 8, behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known a man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
So Lot knew that he was responsible for these men because he took them in. That's a major tenet of brotherhood. When are we going to be responsible for one another?
Right.
When are we going to be responsible? When are we going to hold ourselves to a higher standard of accountability, man? It is your obligation, if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, to absolutely care about one another. Okay? Continue.
Verse 9. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. Verse 10. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. Verse 11. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great. So they that were wearied themselves to find the door.
That's pretty heavy. That escalated quickly.
that talks about, I mean, General Hyman taught a beautiful class, you know, about this. And, you know, he went into detail as to how, you know, pressing these people were in the city of Sodom, you know, how the zeal that they had for wickedness, to want to do evil unto these men, you know, was tremendous, you know. And so, but Lot had a zeal that was far more tremendous than their zeal to do wickedness. Lot had a zeal to do righteousness. You know, Lot wasn't about to allow these men, you know, to be dealt with wickedly, you know. So much so that the people threatened Lot. They're gonna deal. We're gonna deal with you worse than we're gonna deal with these two brothers,
Right.
these two travelers, these sojourners. Okay, but that's the cost of brotherhood, man. You have to lay your neck out on the line for the sake of your brothers, man.
Right.
Very, very important. Brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. Sisters, you're held to the same standard that we're held to as brothers. You got to learn to love one another, man. Make sacrifices for one another, righteous sacrifices.
Well, what kind? This the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 12. Wa Amarawa Ha'ana Shayam Al Lawat Aid Maya Lada Pa'a Katawan Wabanayad Wabanayath Wakal Ashar Lada Ba'ayara Hawataza'a Ma'an Hamakwam Naya Mashaktayam Anakanawa Ath Amakwam Aza'a Kaya Gadala'a Taza'a Quathum Ath Panaya Yahweh Wayash Lakan Yahweh Lashakatha Wayataza'a Lawata Wayadabor La'a Kathanawa Lakukaya Manatha Yawa Wayamar Kwamawa Taza'awa Ma'an Hamakawam Aza'a Baya Mashakayath Yahweh Ath Ha'ayara Wayahweh Kama Tazakwak Ba'ayanaya Kathnayawa 15. We're going down to 19. Okay. Wakwamawa Hashakar Aila'a Waya Taza'a Amalakayam Balawat La Amar Kwabaham Kwaka Ath Slakia. Where am I at? Hold on, I lost my lost spot. Hold on 1 second. We're going down to 50. We're going down to we're going down to
12 to
19. Okay,
19.
so I was at I was at 15. 15. Wakamawa. Ashakar. Ala'a. Did I read 15? Yeah, okay. Waya'a taza'a. Amalakayam. Balawat. La'amor. Kwa'am. Kwaka. Ath. Ashatad. Wa'ath. Shataya. Wanayathad. Anamataza'ath. Pan. Tasapa'ah. Ba'awan. A'awar. Wayathuma'ah. Wayazakwakar. Ha'ana Shayam. Barayawa. Wabayad. Ashatawa. Wabayad. Shatawa. Shathia. Banathiawa. Bakamalath. Yahweh. Alayawa. Wayataza'ah. Wayanakara'ah. Makawataz Slakia. Mawakwatazah. La'ayawar. 17. Wayahaya. Ba'awatazayam. Athum. Akawatazaha. Wayamor. Amalat. Al. Napashad. Al. Tabayat. Akarayad. Wa'ala. Ta'amad. Banala. Akar. Hara'ah. Hamalat. Pan. Tasapa'ah. Wayamor. Walat. Alahayim. Al. Na'ah. Adonaiah. All right. Verse 19. Hold on. Na'ah. Na'ah. Mataza'ah. Ibadad. Kayan. Ba'anayada. Wathagadol. Kasada. Ashar. Ashayath. Amadaya. Lahakayawath. Ath. Napashaya. Wanakal. Cal. Awakal. Laha Malat. Habra'ah. Gone. Taraba Kwaya'ah. Ara'ai. Wamathia. Right. Can you see this? All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 12 in English. And the men said unto Lot, has there any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Most High, and the Most High hath sent us to destroy it.
Right. So just as, the cry of them being waxing great before the face of the Lord in America, just like it was in Sodom, it is today in America, man. This is very, very important. The scriptures talk about this not being our rest. Sodom wasn't the rest for Lot and his family. The Lord wanted to destroy that place. Right. He already knew. He knew exactly what was going on when he went and he was conversing with Abraham. He knew what time it was in Sodom, and he understood. I know the Most High understood why Abraham was so, enamored with wanting to know if the Lord was going to destroy everybody in Sodom for the sake of Lot, for the sake of knowing that, this brother was righteous, man. So it's very, very important. When we get that call, we gotta drop everything and flee.
Right.
Just as Lot was given the order to, from on high. Okay, so lock it, brother.
No sweat, but you good. Verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, up, get you out of this place, and the Most High will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, right. The same way that Noah was mocked in his day. Lot was mocked in the same spirit. The Lord ain't about to destroy this place.
Mm-hmm.
This America. America is gonna stand forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Them Twin Towers, they gonna stand forever.
Right.
But in 2022, they saying never forget.
Right.
The Lord dropped them towers.
That's right.
And it was just, it's so prophetic of what's going to happen across America and across the earth, man. When it comes down to these thrones that are going to fall, that'll be cast down, man. It's very, very, very important that we separate ourselves from all the wickedness that's going on around us. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian,
right?
Okay.
Verse 15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city.
All night long, man. All night long. I'm sure Lot was probably tarrying with his family members, trying to save folks, trying to talk to his son-in-laws, going back and forth with them, trying to convince his wife, trying to convince her, like, we don't need this. Leave that China set there. The Lord said it's time to get up out of here.
Right.
We can't hold on to none of this stuff. It's time to go, because this city is about to be destroyed by the hand of the Most High Power, man. And that's how we're imploring with you, Black, Hispanic, every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that hears this Sabbath service, man. We have the same plea that Lot had for you, for one another, man. We care. We are not a hate group, man. We love Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So much so that we are willing to risk our lives to tell you the truth. Okay. We're risking our lives as Lot was all night long until the sun came up, tarrying, with his family, man. That's what we're doing in the ISUPK, man. Right. The time is short. It's time to get right, man. Go ahead,
verse 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand and upon the hand of his wife.
See, the Most High is very, 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 he's long-suffering. Not only did he issue a warning, he sent angels to pull Lot and his family up out of Sodom, man. Pull them up out of that wicked city. They had to be laid hold of, is what the scriptures say. The angels laid hands on Lot and his wife and his daughters and drugged them up out of that city, man. That's what's going to take for us to get drug up out of America? Somebody gonna have to drag you up out of the Christian church, drag you up out of Islam, and all the other witchcraft that we join ourselves to? What is it going to take? Why can't we just be obedient as a people, man? How long are we going to continue to be stiff-necked? It's a lot here.
No sweat. And upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters, the Most High being merciful unto him,
Right,
and they brought him forth and set him without the city.
right.
Verse 17. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
That's right.
Verse 18. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. 19. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Always, here we go with the excuses or the reasons as to why we just can't be obedient. There's the reasons as to why we just can't be faithful, you know, when it comes down to what the Lord expects of us. Those are righteous orders.
Right.
You're expected to follow every righteous order that you're given in here. Okay. Your life depends upon it, man. Your survival, the survival of your family, or that evil, wicked rib that you love so much, or those stupid children that you have, the future generations, all that is dependent upon you standing strong, man, and being obedient and following those orders. Okay. It's very, very important. The Lord requires strong men to stand up, man, in these times. Okay. Is that it on that, brother?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 20 in Hebrew. Yeah, we're starting at 20, right? Yeah, 20, 26. Yeah. Hana'ah, na'ah, ha'ayar. The water, sir. Haza'ath, warabaha, lanawam, shama'ah, wahaya'ah, ma'taza'ar, amalata, na'ah, shama'ah, ala'ah, ma'taza'ara, hawa'ah, wathkaya, napashia, wa'ayamar, alayawa, hanaha, nasha'athia, panayad, gam, ladabar, haza'ah, labalathia, apakaya, ath, ha'ayara, ashar, dabarath, mahara, amalat, shamaha, kaya, la'ah, awakal, la'ashawath, dabara, aida, ba'ada, shamaha, il, khan, kwaba'ah, sham, ha'ayara, taza'ayara, taza'awar, ashamash, yataza'ah, il, a'arataza, walawat, ba'ah, taza'awar, wayahawa'ah, amatawa'ar, al, Saddam, Wa'ala. Amaraha. Gaparayath. Wa'ash. Ma'ath. Yahweh. Man. Hashemayim. Wahayagad. Ath. Ha'arayam. Hala. Wa'ath. Kal. Kara. Wa'ath. Kal. Yeshabia. Ha'arayam. Wa'atazamak. Ha'adamah. We're going to 26, okay. Watabat. Ashathwa. Ma'akarayam. Ma'akarayam. Watahaya. Natazayaba. Malak. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 20. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. This is not a little one, and my soul shall live. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Verse 22. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. Verse 23. The sun was risen up the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Most High rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Most High out of heaven. 25. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. 26. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
Good night, man. Good night. See, fast forward, you know what I'm saying? The Most High kept us when we're in the wilderness. You know, we have a mind to put our faith and our trust in the things that we see and not in the things that we should be faithful in. You know, Christ talked about us laying up treasures in heaven.
Right.
You know, so why are we, you know, why do we have such a hold on these things that we think we own? And you don't own that house you bought. You don't own that house, okay? You don't pay the taxes on it. The bank gonna come and collect it. You don't own them cars. You got to pay property taxes on them cars. You don't own your rib, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn that these things, man, all that is vanity, man. Thinking that you're going to, you know, have a house on a hill here. You know, this is not our rest, as the scriptures say. You know, Lot, for whatever reason, man, you know, he had a little, you know, stiff-neckedness in him, you know, but he was obedient. He did what the angels told him to do, you know, but it don't take all that. It shouldn't take all that tarrying, you know, for us. It just shouldn't. You know, we should just be obedient and let that be it. You know, all the back and forth. What is all the back and forth about? You gonna go back and forth with Commander General Yohana? You gonna go back and forth with General Muhammad? You go back and forth with your camp leader? It's Khan out of one Khan. And you follow through with the order, man.
That's right.
It's a lock here, man.
That's right. We had
and we saw what happened with Lot's wife.
Right.
She got destroyed because she did not follow the order. She didn't. She didn't have faith in thus saith the Lord. She didn't have faith in what those angels were professing. That the cities will be destroyed. And if you look back, you're going to be destroyed too. We got to stop, man. As America falling, I ain't going to look back. I am not going to look back. If my rib decides to look back, Lord be with her, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be stalwarts. I won't know it. I won't know it. I'm not living in the rearview mirror.
And that's such a problem for our people, man. You still hold on to that long lost love you had with that whore that you fell in love with in high school.
Mhm.
Looking in the rearview mirror, trying to rekindle that flame, man. Let that go. She is not yours. She's got 6, 7, 8, 20 husbands since then. You know? Salakia, man.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 27. Wayash kam Abraham Babakara Al Hamakwam Ashar Imad Sham Aha Panya Yahweh Wayash Slakia. Hold on a second, brother. Okay, I see. We at 20. Wayash Kopa Al Panaya Saddam Wa Amara'ah Wa Allah Kal Panaya Arataza Hakara Wa Yara'ah Wa Hana'ah Ilaha Wa Yatara Aharataza Wa Katara Akabashwan Wa Yahaya Bashakath Alahayam Ath Araya Hakara Wa Yazakar Alahayam Ath Abaram Wa Yashalak Ath Lawat Mathawad Hapaka'ah Bahagad Ath Ha'arayam Ashar Yashab Bahawan Lawat. We're going down to 33. Okay. I'm at 31. I'm at 30. Waya'al Lawat Matazawa Ar Wayashab Baha'ar Washataya Wanathiwa Amawa Kaya Yara'ah Lashabath Batazawa Ar Wayashab Bama Ira'ah Awa'ah Washa'athia Banathiwan Wata Amar Ha Bakayara'ah Al Ha Atazayara Abayanawa Zakaran Ya'ah Wa'ayash Iwan Ba'arataza Labawa'ah Ayalanawa Kadaran Kal Rataza Lakaha Nashakwana'a Ath Abayanawa Ya'an Wanashakabaha Amawa Wanakaraya. Abayanawan. Zara'i. Washakayan. Ath. Abayha. Abayaha. Hawan. Yayaan. Balayala. Hawa'a. Wataba'a. Abayaraha. Watashaka. Ath. Abaya'a. Wala'a. Yada'ai. Bashakaba'a. Wabakwa. Wabakwa Mawa. 33. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 27. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Most High. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up, as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when the Most High destroyed the cities of the plain, that the Most High remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt.
We talked about the inquiry, with Abraham asking the Most High, would he save the city for this amount of people? That all had to do with Lot. That all had to do with him being concerned with his brother, man. And the Most High remembered him. The Most High is a man of war, man. The Lord is a man of war. That's what the scriptures say. Abraham wasn't given the order to not look back on Sodom and Gomorrah, but Lot was. And when Abraham looked, he saw that destruction that the Lord promised, man. So the Lord is definitely a man of his word, man. Continue.
Gonna come. Verse 30. 133, okay. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters. Verse 31. And the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Verse 33. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose.
Good night. Good night. The book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter, it talks about sexual immorality or sexual immoral acts. And it is a sin for you to lay down with your nearest kin. A son is not supposed to lay with his mother, or a daughter is not supposed to lay with her father, man. And you're going to see, what nations became of those unions. Those unions were not, blessed by the Most High power, but that's what our laws state. You see, what's the name of that movie? Oh man, Deliverance.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Deliverance, we talk about them inbreds.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what's going to transpire between these unions, between Lot's daughters taking it upon themselves to grow a brain. No one told them to do those things. And that's what happens when silly women get together and they start to conspire, they start to plan, they start to plot, on when they should just fall in line,
Right,
and be given orders, righteous orders to follow. Okay, I'm not saying that women, can't have a mind to think. I'm not saying that. But that right there was wicked and evil. And before you make any move, you should seek counsel.
right.
If they would have sought counsel with their father, he would have seen that coming. I'm pretty sure he would have seen that coming. With Salakia.
Verse 34. We go to 34 and then stop at 20 and 2. Wayahaya, Mama Karath, Slakia, Wata Amar, Abakayaha, Al, Hatazaya, Ra'ah, Ha'an, Shakabathia, Amash, Ath, Abaya, Nashaqua, Naiwa, Yayan, Gam, Alayalaha, Waba'aya, Shakabia, Amawa, Wanakayaha, Ma'abanawaya, Zara'ai, Watashakwayan, Gam, Balayaha, Baya Layala, Slakia, Hahawa'a, Ath, Abayahawan, Yayaan, Wataquam, Ha Tazaya Ra'ah, Watashakab, Amawa, Wala'ah, Yada'ai, Washakaba'ah, Wabakwama'ah, Wathaharayan, Shataya, Banawath, Lawat, Amabaya Hawan, Wathalad, Abakaya Ra'ah, Ban, Wathakora'ah, Shamawa, Mawa'ab, Hawa'ah, Abaya, Mawa'ab, Aid, Hayawam, Waya Taza'ai, Yara'ah, Gam, Hawa'ah, Yaladaha, Ban, Wathakora'ah, Shamawa, Ban, Amaya, Hara'ah, Abaya, Banaya, Amawan, Aid, Hayawam. First one. Wayasa'ai, Masham, Abaram, Arataza, Anagab, Wayashab, Bayawan, Quadash, Wabayawan, Shawa'ar, Wayaga'ar, Bagara'ah, Wayamar, Abaram, Al, Sharaha, Ashatawa, Akathia, Hawa'ah, Wayashalak, Amayalak, Slakim, Abayam Ladad, Maladad, Gara'ah, Wayakwak, Ath, Sharaha. Going down to verse 2. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 34. Get down to it. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yester night with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Verse 35. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Verse 36. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day.
That's right.
Verse 38. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
And so we got the so-called
Chinese, Japanese?
Chinese and Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Or there was a term that is now defunct in the earth called Mongoloid, and it's related to individuals that have Down syndrome. Okay, so with them doing this, you know, this amoral sexual deviant act, you know, they brought upon something that changed the gene sequence of their children. You know, so much so that they, you know, to this very day, the Chinese and Japanese share these characteristics about themselves of being inbred, man. You know, and it's a shame, you know, because all they had to do was seek counsel. That's all they had to do, you know, but they didn't. So now we have to deal with, you know, somebody telling you to hurry up and buy.
Right.
When you're looking for that yaki, whatever hair sisters is buying these days.
Right.
They ain't buying the yaki no more. They buying what?
I don't even know.
Them lace, not even lace fronts. They buying the bundles now. You know what I'm saying? Or they can't even understand anything beyond, you know, fried rice and four wings, all flats. That's why you have to deal with that to this day because of this sin, you know, of them laying with their father Lot. Was that it on that?
Kind of was yeah, that was it on that. And oh no, I'll keep reading English. Where we stopped at. Yeah, verse 2. 21. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 1. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. Verse 2. And Abraham said of Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. We had to stop there.
Here we go again.
Right.
Here we go. The plot thickens, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, Abraham being confident that the Most High Power will protect him. We'll get into that, you know, next week, Lord willing. You know, but with that,
Imagine. Sorry, face east. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa. Shemaiah. Aisha, Aratza, Wa, Ayah, Bashemaiah, Thelanow, Kal, Yawam, Salat now, Bati now, Salat now, Bati now, Ala'ah, Ya'ayah now, Messiah one, Wall, Aishai now, Yan, Rai, Kayah, Akab, Allah, Amen.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debts. We forgive our debtors. deliver us
Deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Prayer for the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
Baruch Shah.
Baruch Shah.
Thunder now.
Thunder now.
Ka.
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 Ka. Ka.
Ka.
Ka.
Ka.
Tahar.
Tahar.
Amazaria.
Amazaria.
Ka.
Ka.
Hakwil.
Hakwil.
Hamakia.
Hamakia.
Ka.
Ka.
Arakawa.
Arakawa.
Tama'ala.
Tama'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
Baraman.
Baraman.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh
In the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean
Power
spirits.
against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Prayer for the blessings. Rakataya Yahweh.
Rakataya Yahweh.
Yahushua.
Why Yahweh?
Wa Maka'ala.
Wa Maka'ala.
Wa Alahaya.
Wa Alahaya.
Matala Bayah.
Matala Bayah.
Alawak Yohana.
Alawak Yohana.
Alawak
Alawak
Saranya.
Hasaranya.
Hakwas Yogi.
Hakwas Yogi.
Hakwas Yogi.
Hakwas Yogi.
Wa Akwati.
Wa Akwati.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua. The water.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General
Commanding
Yohana.
General Yohana.
The general.
Generals.
The captain.
Captain.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
Troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
And Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahariya.
Ahariya.
Mahayan.
Mahayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azaria.
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 Ayin.
Ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ramayam.
Ramayam.
Aratazah. Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Amawat.
Amawat.
Galka.
Galka.
Ayanawam.
Ayanawam.
Marka.
Mark.
Anala'ah.
Anala'ah.
Anawam.
Anawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Ayashan.
Ayashan.
Omar.
Omar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Marka.
Marka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Zalka.
Zalka.
Ayad.
Ayad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Shamash.
Yashamash.
Makayah.
Makarai.
Iraq.
Iraq.
Alayallah.
Alayallah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamar.
Makarai.
Makarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Pashka.
Pashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Yasa'aka.
Yasa'aka.
Wala'aka.
Wala'aka.
Yatah.
Yatah.
Alayam.
Now,
I will lift up mine eyes.
Lift up mine eyes
To the hills.
to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
Whence cometh my help?
My help coming from
My
Yahweh.
help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth
He
thee
that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Yahshua
that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
This time forth
and even
and
forevermore.
even evermore.
This is Psalm 83. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Adam Elakah.
Adam Elakah.
Asakarash.
Asakarash.
Al Tashakwat.
Yahshua.
Kayahana.
Yahana.
Ayabuka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Yawan.
Yahweh.
Ash.
Ash.
Amakah.
Amakah.
Arwa.
Arwa.
Sabadah.
Sabadah.
Wayad.
Wayad.
It's like a Ya'atazawa.
Ayatazawah.
Atazapamuka.
Atazapamuka.
Amara.
Yahweh.
Akawa.
Yahweh.
Kakira.
Kakaki.
Magayawa.
Magayawa.
Walayazakar.
Walayazakar.
Shamyashala.
Shamyashala.
Awada.
Awada.
Ayawatazak.
Ayawatazak.
Naba'a.
Naba'a.
Yakarawa.
Yakarawa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Ayarath.
Ayarath.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Yadashemai.
Yadashemai.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Awabba.
Yahweh.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
Abal.
Abal.
Wamamla.
Wamamla.
Wamalak.
Wamalak.
Alashat.
Alashat.
Mishabia.
Mishabia.
As war.
As war.
Namasha war.
Namasha war.
Alawah.
Alawah.
Amam.
Amam.
Hayawah.
Hayawah.
Sarawah.
Sarawah.
Vayalawat.
Alayawat.
Selah.
Selah.
Ashalaham.
Ashalaham.
Amadia.
Amadia.
Besasarab.
Besasarab.
Yabia.
Yabia.
Anakal.
Anakal.
Washman.
Yashman.
Nashab.
Yeshua.
Ma'andayara.
Ma'andayara.
Hayawah.
Hayawah.
Naman.
Naman.
Adamah.
Adamah.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nanayama, Karai, Wazaka, Kazabak, Kazatal, Manai, Kanai Samuka, Ashar, Amra, Nayarash, Anawa, Nayawa, Alahaya, Lahaya, Shayathamwa, Gagala, Kwash, Sayin Rakah, Ash, Ira, Kahalabak, Alahat, Arayam, Andardama, Iraka, Asab, Pathka, Abalaham, Ayaham, Palawan, Wayabashwa, Kak, Yahweh, Yabashua, Balawa, Ayai, Ayakapara, Ayanawa, Ayadayawa, Ayatha, Shaka, Yahweh, Vodka, Ayawan, Karatazak.
Keep not thou silent.
Keep not thou silent.
O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. And have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. And have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Yahshua may be no more remembrance. But they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. Tabernacles of Edom. The Ishmaelites. Moab. And the Hagarenes. The Baal. And Ammon. And Amalek. Philistine. The inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also was joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, as to Jabin, as to the brook of the Son, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zahab. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill thy graces with shame. And they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
Sorry. Men of Israel, gird thy loins and press the Torah.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Barak, Yah.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Barak, Yah.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabrak, yeah.
Men of Israel will give one curse to the teacher. Men of Israel, Mount Shabbat, Mani, Barak,
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabrak, yeah.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Barak, Thumb.
Yahweh,